Hello, you're watching Avenue X, and today let's talk about the Chinese drama 向风而行 Flight to You. This is a 39 episode contemporary drama that has finished airing on iQIYI, Tencent, as well as CCTV 8. The drama itself is produced by the platform iQIYI, but it does air on multiple web platforms and satellite television. It is directed by Wang Zhi, who also have directed 你是我的荣耀 You Are My Glory and 怪你过分美丽 We Are All Alone. It is an adapted screenplay written by the scriptwriter Yu Qiao, based on an existing novel written by the author Mu Qingyu called 云过天空你过心 literally meaning the cloud passes the sky as you pass my heart. It's like I've bitten down on a lemon. The drama is led by Wang Kai, Tan Songyun, Liu Chang. It's mostly shot in the city Xiamen from November 2021 to the end of January last year. The drama went live online and also on CCTV at the end of December last year. When it first went live, I didn't have time to check out. I didn't watch it until this year, and I pretty much binged it as it has just finished airing on the 12th, I believe. I'm pretty fast catching up on it while watching all the other dramas. Based on the whole thing I've watched, I'll give it a 1 gold mine rating. And let me quickly introduce you to the story, then we're gonna talk about what worked and didn't work. It happens mostly at an airline called Luzhou, which is really Xiamen airline in China. Our main female lead character, played by Tan Songyun, a pilot who's already been flying for 7 to 8 years. She works for the freight department of this airline, so she doesn't really transport passengers. At the beginning of the drama, she is told that the company has shifted strategies. They're gonna cut the entire department of freight. So she's either gonna get cut and have to go and look for another job at another airline, or she will be moved to the passenger flight department and needs to get retrained by the head of the pilot of that department, which technically is this guy, played by Liu Jun as actor, who is the real minister, the head of the flight department, but there's a deputy who is more technical and more focused on the actual technical aspects of things, and that would be Wang Kai's role. They didn't see eye to eye at the beginning, and as they get to know each other more and more. While there's another guy who is the good friend of Wang Kai's role, played by Liu Chang. He doesn't fly the plane, but he takes care of the plane, who would later join the game of kind of becoming the competitor for the girl's attention. Now, let's look at what is good and what is not so good about this drama. On the positive end, number one, this is a very acceptable standard quality contemporary drama. There's no significant amateur problems of the production. One good thing I really appreciate is they really don't skin smooth people. If there's dents and imperfection on their skin, you're gonna see it. Also, this drama is all original voice, actors' own voices, no dubbing. Number two, this thing is arguable. Like, I will talk about what's not great about this drama, but on the positive end of things, for a drama that's focused on pilot's life, I think this is, in recent years, coming from mainland China, the only drama that, for a significant part of the drama, talks about this profession. It is not perfect. It still gets complained by professional people, and I'll talk about that later in the negative parts of this review, but it is still the only one. It's a mixture of how accurately it represents a pilot's job. Number three, positive things. Good-looking people. Wang Kai is just very photogenic, let's just say, on camera. Liu Chang is also, because he's supermodel before, although he's way too skinny. I mean, Wang Kai is also way too skinny. These two guys need to eat more. And Wang Kai has, really pretty hands. The prettiest hands, I'd say, from any guys in Chinese drama land, because of its ridiculous length of fingers. The director knows everybody is like hand porning Wang Kai's hands, so you'll have so many close-ups of his hands. Sometimes a little bit too much. Tan Songyun, oldest young kid in Chinese drama land when it comes to an actress playing somebody who can be seen as much younger than her real age. She's just got a baby face and it hasn't changed over the last decade, and she's very bubbly. The energy she brings on screen. So visual wise, this drama is very enjoyable. Oh, and there's a supporting female character played by a very young actress who was born in the 2000s, and she graduated from Beijing Film Academy. She's called Shao Qi, she plays, I can't even say whether she's female second or third, but she plays an air hostess who really went into this because she likes Wang Kai's character. At the end of the story, she finds her own goal and sort of become a more matured lady. This actress, oh, she's so pretty. The type of not shockingly pretty at first glance, but the longer you stare at her face, you're like, it's so refined. It's like somebody took a very fine sculpting knife and just carefully carved out her lines on her face. That type of face, very Asian beauty standard pretty, that type of very soft and refined features. She's got the best skin of any human woman I've ever seen who being captured on camera, and she glows on camera. So pretty. Also, she's so slender. Her figure is like, oh. If my sexual orientation is woman, I'd be drooling over her. Then also in the other types of prettiness, because this drama focuses on airplanes, there are some very good airplane shots. There are a couple of shots that really shocked me. I was like, how did they get that shot? It's fascinating and glorious. Aircraft porn. This drama also have quite a lot of that. The last point of this drama is story-wise, okay. It's very like this. Some parts of certain plot and how it happened on screen is quite interesting to look at, and then you're gonna have a big valley where you just can't wait to fast forward through it. For the good parts, I still enjoyed it quite a lot. Now, let's talk about why I don't give it such a positive rating. Number one, although it is by far the most focused on airplane pilot story Chinese drama, it still has so many problems. I'm not a pilot, but I do research. And then I also watch other people's content. There are about 5, I've noticed, professional pilots who have accounts on Bilibili. Some of them are big accounts in terms of being in the content creation game for a longer time and having a significant size of audience. Some are smaller, but I've watched all their content. Everybody I can find who are significant enough on Bilibili, who are professional pilots. And they talk about the details of this drama, what has been done right and what has been done wrong. So, I can tell some of the things are very well done, some are totally for the sake of having dramatic plot, they disregard reality. If you are a professional pilot or if you work in this related field and you know quite a lot about what happens with pilots in cockpit and that type of thing, this drama maybe at places really hard for you to watch. We don't really know what went into this production, whether they know some things are wrong but they intentionally did it because they want a dramatic effect more, or there's still a lot of things they didn't work out properly. For example, there are certain things in cockpit where the pilot would be saying something, we have bad weather ahead. On the radar, it actually shows you when you have the close-up cut, good weather ahead. It doesn't look like it hasn't been done right when they're filming it. It feels more like in post-production, they put the wrong image on the monitors. So that is to do with that they didn't coordinate well. I just feel it's such a missed opportunity since you are already first promoting yourself as a pilot drama and then you have an actual airline that you can use. Why not just be more careful with things? And then when it comes to certain, not to do with the actual technical aspects of flying a plane, but to do with how people work. For example, what is the usual professional etiquette between pilots? This drama also sacrifices that for the sake of dramatic tension. So they set up the male lead and the female lead as two people who don't see eye to eye at the beginning, and that will be easier because later they'll get together and get to know each other better. Can you do it with more subtlety? They do it in ways that would never really happen between two pilots. He sees her landing a plane that he considers to be dangerous maneuver, and he would immediately directly confront her and just say that to her face when she actually didn't really do anything against the rules. And as the subordinate, as the lesser experienced pilot and who is about to go into the guys department to be trained as a passenger pilot, female Rose's attitude is also just, do you have EQ or IQ at all? Like talking in that kind of way to your future superior. It makes both people extremely annoying, and it's very hard for me to continue watching and trying to just turn that impression. In a way, I never really managed to do that. The other significant problem you have with this drama is the male lead character's history. The type of our good-looking professionally super capable male lead, like most of the dramas and stories will have their male lead Bin, has this really epic, tragic past history of losing his girlfriend because she's a pilot and she dies on the ocean. And then that stopped him being able to really just relate to emotion, or he closes that door, and also he becomes extremely strict about following the rule books, all the details of trainings and everything. That's just such a archaic setup of a male lead character. If you do it back in 1990s, I think it's okay, or even early 2000s, but now it's 2020. We've had that many dramas. And this old setup is so old that the moment I see that this is what they're going for, I start to feel really bad for Wang Kai, for him to still have to play a role like this in 2020s. Had it been a different actor who's a lesser an actor and I don't have that much filter, I would have quitted this drama right from the moment I realized this is what they're going in for. Another thing, apart from the previous things I've talked about, is it has very strong idealism. And I can see that because Xiamen Airline supported this drama. They want to make the whole industry look very glorified, and all the people in it are very good people. And I believe there are a lot of people who work in this industry who work very hard. They get paid high, but they also have high risk jobs. Every profession has its sort of the glorious side, but also the darker side of things. If you really want to dig deep into the good and bad of individual characters, but also the industry as a whole, then you cannot just do it in such a superficial way, and everything feels so forced, and therefore it no longer has any weight or believability. Towards the later part of the drama, there is a major plot arc about one pilot that they've been setting up for the whole drama as a really annoying and bad guy, okay? I'm not gonna tell you who that is. You'll watch the drama, you'll know. Who did something utterly stupid and violating all kinds of morality code of doing his job just to get that little thing that he wants. And then when he gets found out, he immediately kind of just gave up and then admitted to his crime and gave up his career. That whole arc of that thing is just so childishly written, and it's so intentionally set up to make the female lead as the perfect morally integrity impeccable person, at the same time solving her personal problem with her mother that they've had for years. At the same time, making the male lead finally show something that he really wants to sacrifice everything for the girl that he likes, and then getting rid of the bad guy in the story, and then making this company airline in this drama being such a good airline. They recognize what's wrong with their airline and the people they have, and then they will not try to hide it, but actually expose it to the public and then trying to do the right thing. It tries to do so many things in that one plot. At the end, it makes it so unbelievable and over the top, simplified and shallow. But also, I really don't like the part is for that plot to happen, they have to make a fictional, but the name actually suggests it's the older name of the city that's now in Vietnam, so it's Southeast Asian one country. Air traffic controller doing something that's very immoral of their profession. Any really respected people who do air traffic control would never do that. To make that plot happen, they have to make a bad guy in that story to make that office guy who did this, which I doubt first it's practical, it can be done. And also it's just so unfair to this fictional country. I don't appreciate that at all. The final thing is, it did take the whole drama for these two to get together. Oh, they had to add a twist of the male lead and give him one last trouble that may actually stop him from continually being a good pilot. In last episode 39, like all previous ones never set it up for like 1 second. Last episode, they give him a problem. Obviously, it gets solved at the end, but I'm like, you just have to use that cheap plot device to do that one last kick that really doesn't do much. It's just like written by somebody who watched a lot of dramas and they just copy the superficial plot turning twist setup, and they think therefore it's a good, interesting drama. They actually don't go deep into thinking through any level of character analysis and really thinking about writing as a craft. Okay, so I have a lot to complain about this drama, and I did have to really multiple times convince myself to keep watching, because you've already spent that much time watching the previous episodes. If you don't continue, you kind of just wasted all that time. That should be the end of this video. Thank you for watching Avenue X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.